Hey, what's going on? This is your boy E with Off the Chalk Peak Performance, man. I'm on the trail today. It's all about Jesus and I on the trail. That's it. Jesus and I on the trail. And I'm thankful for that. You know, what's going on for today? Well, first of all, let me start off by saying, I guess I'm picking the nickname as the Fasting King. The Fasting King. When I'm at the gyms, my friends be like, yeah, man, you're the Fasting King. You're the Fasting King because you're always fasting. And they're kind of right. But, you know, if somebody's trying to drop some weight, I'll fast with them. Somebody has an issue that needs to be resolved, I'll fast with them. There's intermediate fasting. You know, there's so many different levels of fasting. You know, so when we say fasting, you're depriving your body, you're going without restraining from, you're quarantining yourself so that you get it right, so that you are not eating anything, right? And that's the reset, you know. But again, for you to truly appreciate what's going on when you fast, you need to understand what fasting really is, you know. It's like, okay, you can fast, you can fast food, you can fast, some people fast and I have like just juices, which I'm doing a 3-day no food fast. So I can drink whatever I want to drink, but I'm not eating anything. And the mindset of that is, you know, you're giving your digestion, your GI, your gut a break. You feel me? All right, so that one right there is what I'm doing. And to be honest with you, I just did it on the whim. And to be honest with you, to be completely honest with you, I'm not even done with the fast yet. This is day 3, and I'm already down 10 pounds. Yeah, I went on the scale this morning, was 226. I was like 236.8 when we started. That's pretty doggone good, and I'm not really at 72 hours yet. You know, I got probably about 8 more hours. So I'm gonna hit the trail today, which I'm on the trail. And then after the trail, I'm gonna hit the gym. I went through one of my Vitality drinks, little plug. These drinks right here are absolutely delicious. It's great for energy. It's high in antioxidants because this one over here has, you see I already finished it. Already finished it. This one has black mulberry, blueberry, raspberry, strawberries. Those are all dark berries, and they're all very rich in antioxidants, which is good for energy. You know, it's good for focus. Right? A lot of times we don't do what we gotta do because we're not focused. There's too many doggone distractions. I'm doing this video with people on the trail. That could be a distraction. But if I don't pay them any mind, you know, I'm working that thing. You know what I mean? And more so, it's really good for your gut, man. That GI gut is all about what you ingest and how your body digests it. So, you know, if anybody's interested in kind of my content, you could always follow me on Instagram or TikTok. All same name. It's Off the Charts Media. Go to Off the Charts Media, and you can follow me. If you go on YouTube, I have longer videos where you can follow me on Off the Charts Media. And when you go on YouTube, subscribe. So I know that you're following me and you'll catch all my content. My content has everything from how to fast, how to work out, how to renew your mind, right? I also make my E. Harrigan honey whiskey. So I go through the process of how I did that, how I started doing that. You know, that's with Off the Charts also, as a distributor. So you'll see videos on how to make ginger tea. Like, you can buy my drinks. I'll show you how you can make your own drinks. Some of y'all might be saying, well, dang, why would he show somebody how to make drinks and take money out your hands? I'm not really worried about that. You know, if you don't have the time to do it, holler at me, I'll make sure you get it. Right? If not, you know, you can make it yourself, and I'll show you how I make it. You know, it's not that difficult. It's a little time consuming. And if you wanted to get it with the right ingredients, you want to go all organic. I'm right now on a mile, so that's cool. I'm on a mile. Yeah, yeah, I'll show you how to make it. You can make it yourself. The reason behind that is I consider myself blessed. And if you want to be blessed, you gotta bless others. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you get it back how you get it back. So anyway, yeah, so back to fasting. You know, every religion has fasting. It's also connected with the sun. They call it circadian rhythm. You know, where some people eat only when the sun's up. When the sun sets, we don't eat anymore. So by the sun sets at 8 o'clock at night, that should be your last meal, giving your body a chance to digest. There's others who fast, you know, it could be Ramadan, it could be a 40-day fast, it could be Lent, you know, throughout all type of religions, and they have fasting. Lent, fasting. Ramadan, fasting. You know? So you got the sun, fasting, you know? And then when you have your breakfast, you're breaking that fast. You're breaking that fast. So it's important what you eat and what time you eat and when you eat, right? What you eat, you know? If you're eating some food that's not real food, you know, it's gonna sit in your stomach, in your gut. And that's gonna cause visceral fat. Visceral fat, that's not a good thing. You can have somebody who's maybe 150 pounds, 155, and they're out of shape. And you look at their body, their stomach, you see all this fat, but they're not like an overly obese person. But what's happening is when they're eating, that food ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna say it again. When they're eating, the food ain't going nowhere. So because the food's not going nowhere, where you think it's gonna be? It stays in your gut. It stays in your large intestines. And you see it, you end up seeing it in your stomach. You know, if you eat 3 meals and you only go in the bathroom to pass your bowels once, what happens to the other 2 meals? Then if you're eating some BS, some Kentucky Fried BS, fried BS, what do you think is happening to that food? It just stays there. If the food is not digesting, it's all ingestion and digestion. If that food's not digesting, it just stays there. That's when it becomes toxic to your body. That's how you end up having these tumors and cancers and all kinds of stuff like that. So having issues with your autoimmune deficiencies, you know, everything starts backfiring because your body needs a good cleansing. You know what I'm saying? A good bowel movement, a straight up cleansing, you know? Anyway, what I normally do is I try to show people how they can reset their body, their mind, and things that they do so they can be successful, you know what I'm saying? To be blessed so you can be bless others, right? And that might be just a matter of drinking more water, changing up from eating all those pork chops and stuff like that, you know, and just change your diet, what you eat. I'm not saying you gotta completely change everything, stop everything at once, but you know, eventually, you know, you can start making some changes. If you have your favorite meal, and that favorite meal is lasagna, some rice and beans, you know, some sauteed steak and some mushrooms and, you know, some pork and pork chops and all that stuff there, you know, and then you barely have a bowel movement. You got a lot of stuff. You're giving your body a lot of extra things to break down, you know. How you gonna do that? And then on top of it, the next day you have a big old meal with some more garbage. You know, it's just a matter of time before that catch up with you. When you're young, you get away with it. As you go from being a teenager to your 20s, after a while, you're like, okay. Time you're in your 30s, you're like, now I got some issues. 40s, you're slowing down. That's 20 years of you abusing your body. So then you get older, like myself, you get in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you be like, oh, now we got some serious issues that need to be resolved. You know what I mean? Put on all type of medication and stuff like that. So the point is, not to rant too much about that, is we gotta be very intentional about everything we do. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I'm doing. Anyway, this is your boy E with Off the Charts Peak Performance, man. Like I said, that's what fasting is, man. Fasting is pretty deep, but once you get into it, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's like, you got you call them fasties. That's what I call them. Might be a name I just made up, fasties. And when somebody fasts, it's just like, you just know, like they're going through some issues, be like, yo, fast. You need to drop 15 pounds, yo, fast. You need to drop 20 pounds, fast. Just stop eating, And think about it. If you could have enough discipline to stop eating for a day, no food, or 2 days, no food, how powerful are you? You become a superhero. Yeah, you become a superhero. And you're here to save the day. Not only can you help yourself, you can help others, because you got that skill set. I'm coming up on 1.25 miles right now, which is cool. I think I said I was gonna do 3 miles today, something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go a little further. Maybe I'll do another quarter mile. So I'll do like a 3 mile walk today. I'm enjoying this beautiful sun anyway. Look at that sun. Look at that sun. Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But back to fasting. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. Do I have any urges like, well, I had my grandson over last night, so they came over, so I made some baked potatoes. Now I'm still fasting. And that's even more challenging when you're cooking and you're fasting. You think, oh my gosh, I seasoned that bad boy up. I seasoned those potatoes up, man, and it's like, okay, would it hurt me if I just take one little bite? Probably wouldn't. But the whole idea of fasting is a discipline and resetting. So I'm gonna have those potatoes tonight when I break my fast. Probably like around 8 o'clock is when I'll break my fast today. This is that temptation, but the temptation is good, man. Anything that doesn't kill you is gonna make you better if your mind is open to that, and fasting does that. You can start off slow, start off with like intermediate fasting. And I can break it down to you. I'm not gonna do this video here. I'll break it down to you, different stages of intermediate fasting where you start off, skipping breakfast. Or you might just start off saying, I'm not eating past 8 o'clock or 8:30, 9 o'clock, or whatever the case might be. I like to go with the sun. So circadian rhythm. When the sun go down, don't eat. But if you can't do that, just like pick a time and say, I'm gonna start off here. You gotta take baby steps, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta crawl before you can walk, before you can start jogging and running. Don't try to do it all in one day. You see me doing 3 days and be like, how you fasting? I can't go a day without food. Yeah, because all those on parasites inside your abdominals, your abdomen. It's like saying, feed me. They're crying. They're saying, give me some of that food. But guess what happens when you don't feed them? They die off. I'm not going to get into the whole autophagy thing, but the whole autophagy is when your good cells are eating your bad cells, and your blood is changing up, your blood pressure is going down, sugar spikes going on, and before you know it, even the joints start feeling a little better. Inflammation is decreasing. You're moving a little bit better. You should be a little sharper in your mind, the way you're thinking. You're planning things out a little bit better. All these things contribute to a good fast. Now, am I advising you to do 3 days first? No, don't do that. I'm a superhero. That's why I can do it. You will be one too, but start off just going with intermediate fast. Go with intermediate fast and be like, okay, I'm gonna try this and see how it works. Let's see how I feel. I'm gonna tell you right now, when you first start, you're gonna get a little lightheaded. You're like, I need food. I need food. That ain't you talking. That is those parasites inside your body saying, I need food. I need that sugar. I need that starch. That's what it is. But once you get past that, man, that's when you get your cape. That's when you get your cape. Once you get your cape, now you can fly, you can move, you got some power. But first you gotta start off one step at a time, take baby steps. Yeah, so that's fasting, man, fasting 101. You know, maybe another one of my videos, I'll break it down a little bit more about the whole autophagy thing, about the circadian rhythm, about intermediate fasting, you know, 16-8 fast, or, you know, however you want to do it, 12-10 fast, you know, and then you can move to like a 16-8 or whatever the case might be. You know, you start switching it up, and before you know it, you can go a whole day without food. You be like, oh man, I got this. I got this. That's all it is. Anyway, this is your boy E with Off the Charts, man. Peak Performance, man. Yo, go to my YouTube, subscribe to my channels. It's Off the Charts Media. I would appreciate that, you know what I mean? I'll give you some more content like this, guide you through it. You get a chance, reach out to me. These drinks are going fast. See, this one here went real fast. That Vitality Berry Blend went real fast. You know, but that's my energy, real energy. All right, I'm done. Peace.